It's the most popular, most recognizable thing in the world. There are more of them on the planet than all the cars, all the active smartphones, and even all the people alive. Right now, 20 billion $100 bills are passing from hand to hand every second. And that's not even counting the hundreds of billions of other printed and virtual currencies. Why so many? Without money, we couldn't efficiently trade goods, buy, sell, measure value, or plan for the future. Now take any bill and look at the inscription. In God we trust. But is it God we truly trust? History proves that humanity's ultimate faith is placed in money. Money can be anything. Seashells, enormous stone discs, precious metals, salt, or even just numbers on a screen, or computer-generated code. Money can literally be nothing. So why do we continue to believe in it and organize our entire lives around it? Money as trust and code. Meet Vitalik Buterin. At 31, he's a dollar billionaire and a potential candidate for the Nobel Prize in economics. He created Ethereum, the world's second most popular cryptocurrency. And this is a clay tablet from Mesopotamia, over 3,500 years old. What's the direct connection? Trust. The ancient records state, the bearer is entitled to a pre-agreed measure of barley upon harvest, or a measure of silver upon the completion of a journey. These are the world's first financial contracts. If the guarantee back then was cuneiform script on clay, today that trust is often governed by program code. Conditions are written in advance, and if they are met, the transaction happens instantly. The smarter the technology, the more effectively it lowers the barriers to trust, allowing people to build businesses, trade, and exchange information globally. That is why money is essential. Think about the word credit. Without it, buying a home or a car is nearly impossible. Huge corporations build factories with it, and entire nations run on debt. And this system doesn't collapse because credit is the backbone of the global economy. The word comes from the Latin credo, I believe. All money throughout history, it's not metal, it's not paper. It is trust itself, and it exists only as long as we believe in it. The three functions and the dollar's power. Why do we believe? Because every currency performs three fundamental functions in society. Number one, medium of exchange. We use money to buy and sell goods. We don't offer the dairy farmer a barrel of crude oil for a gallon of milk. Number two, store of value. You can earn or produce something today and spend it a year from now. Number three, unit of account. Money is necessary to measure value. Which country is richer and will produce more trillions in goods and services? And why do we measure in dollars? Again, it's about global trust. The US remains the world's largest and most voracious economy. If China is the world leader in export, producing, and selling, who consumes and imports the most? The states. They are the most active consumers of the world's most sought-after resources, oil and gas. US residents also hold nearly a third of all global private wealth, and more than half of the world's most valuable companies are American. Finally, the US economy is the world's chief debtor. But this doesn't mean Uncle Sam is begging for loans. Quite the opposite. People and companies worldwide voluntarily invest in American businesses or lend to the government because they believe in the strength of that economy and its ability to return their money with profit. Look at this chart. In the early 20th century, Americans were far from first. Their share of the stock market was smaller than London's. But what would have happened to $100 if you had invested it 100 years ago into the S&P 500 index of the largest American companies? It would have turned into $787,000. Investing in U.S. public companies yielded the greatest returns, a clear testament to the growth of American capital. The three miracles that created the modern world. It's time to understand the three miracles of money, without which the modern world would simply crash. Miracle number one, banks. Take the Amsterdam Whistle Bank, the Swedish Riksbank, and the Bank of England. In the 15th to 17th centuries, Europe was a mess. Anywhere from 14 to 500 types of coins circulated, and merchants constantly lost money due to fluctuating exchange rates. The Amsterdam Bank, 1609, solved this by inviting merchants to deposit all their messy coins and use the bank's unified, trusted checks instead. Major trades started happening digitally. The bank earned a reputation as ultra-reliable by holding vast reserves against panic withdrawals. The Swedish Riksbank. They were the first to successfully issue credit notes. They didn't hold all the precious metal deposited, but printed paper money against the rest, issuing it as loans. Today, the entire global financial system operates on this fractional reserve model. The Bank of England, 1694. It was invented to wage war. To quickly build a new fighting fleet after a naval loss to the French, the government promised investors 8% annual profit. They raised a huge sum in just 12 days. The interest was paid for by a dedicated tax on ship tonnage. This process transformed London into the primary financial hub, shifting power from owners of land and gold to those who controlled credit. Miracle number 2 and number 3. Joint stock companies and the stock exchange. Look at Nvidia, Apple, Google, Amazon, Meta, and Tesla. They are the most valuable public companies today. They are unified by the fact that millions of strangers worldwide can buy a piece of their business, shares, on the stock exchange. Companies use these billions for growth and shareholders' profit. The mother of all stocks is the receipt for a share in the Dutch East India Company, VOC. It, not Apple, is considered the most valuable corporation in history. It arose from the naval conflict with Portugal, which dominated the spice trade. The VOC needed massive funding to build its fleet and wage war. By royal decree, any citizen of the Netherlands could finance it. When investors put up the money but profits weren't immediate, a problem arose. How to get their money back? The only way was to sell their share to someone else. Thus, the stock exchange was born. This practice spread globally, injecting a massive boost into the speed of life on the planet. In 2023, the total value of everything traded on world exchanges exceeds the entire global GDP. The debt paradox and the secret of wealth. Check out this chart. Global debt at the start of 2024 is $315 trillion. Meanwhile, all the world's countries together will only produce about $105 trillion in goods and services this year. Humanity owes itself 3 times more than it can create. How? Here's the simple mechanism. You deposit $10,000 at the bank, and the same bank gives me a $9,000 loan. Technically, you still own your 10 grand, and I can now spend my 9 grand. Magically, your $10,000 via the bank's loan turns the total money supply for the world into $19,000. The source of money is not gold or the government. It is the debtors themselves. When someone takes a loan, they commit to working in debt for the life of that loan, creating money for the owners of capital. This is why nearly half of the world's wealth belongs to less than 1% of humanity. These $58 million millionaires hold assets that generate money for them without their daily labor. What is wealth? It's not just the number on your bank statement. It's the ability to acquire and manage assets. Assets bring you income without your direct participation. Stocks, bonds, rental property. Your knowledge and skills are also an asset. Liabilities take money away from you. Credit card debt, consumer loans. The poor work their whole lives for money, while the wealthy make money work for them. Take Michael Jordan. He became a millionaire through his professional basketball labor, but he became a billionaire through smart investing. He developed the legendary sneaker brand with Nike, continuously receiving royalties, and then successfully bought and sold an entire basketball team. Even though the team set an anti-record for the fewest wins under his ownership, he still sold it for $3 billion. His story is not just about sports, it's about converting earned money into working assets. True freedom in this world is the ability to take back control of your time and your capital. Become a professional, persevere, accumulate assets, don't forget to live, and always move forward. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the future. Garry was right. Here we explore how the world works and the key events that shape our reality. Subscribe so you don't miss videos that not only inspire, but also help you think bigger and act smarter.